Hey guys, still here and welcome back to another part of the adventure series of Miklos Horthy. Created by Darth Vendar, played out in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. This is the last of the series, and it's gonna be an all-deciding factor. The eyes of the world are on the Austro-Hungarian Navy. From no navy, 9 short years ago, to now bringing the 4th largest navy in the world to its knees. Our modernization projects and the use of our heavy cruiser design has changed the way the world looks at our nation. However, while the most recent engagement with the French Atlantic Fleet has shown that we are not an unstoppable force, it has made it abundantly clear that Austria-Hungary can punch well above its weight class. While its fleet licks its wounds in German ports, the war has not been stagnant on land. With the Mediterranean fleet destroyed and the Atlantic operations precarious, the French have taken a far more cautious approach than their declaration of war led on. They have stayed on their side of the border and even have ceased artillery bombardment for fear of counterattack. This has angered Stalin greatly, as now what was supposed to be a two-front war is now being fought solely on the Russian border with only a token German force being necessary to keep the French at bay. While Russia pushed into Poland after years of preparations, that advance has either been halted or even reversed across the entire front due to the noble actions of the Central Powers. Stories of cooperation and heroism are published almost daily, like Sergeant Edmund Roman Orlik, a Polish tank commander, who in his tiny TKS tankette thwarted a Russian ambush in a German armored column. Among those he saved was Lieutenant Victor IV Albrecht Johannes von Ratibor, a Silesian prince. The pair have formed a friendship and served side by side, driving off the Soviet forces. However, while these noble actions have occurred on the front lines in Berlin, the leadership of the Central Powers gathered to discuss battle plans and established organized supply lines. It was a table of vastly different characters, from the calm, cool-headed German Kaiser and Turkish Sultan to the absolute blackout drunk that was King Carol II of Romania. Thankfully, Prince Michael was able to take his father's place at the table and circumnavigate his troublesome father. It is here that the Austro-Hungarian Empire, Otto von Habsburg, relays to his allies everything that you have accomplished. The Emperor is a man full of vigor and ideas that I am sure you will dread in the coming future. With bold new ships designs for both a new battleship and heavy cruiser design, and his absolute belief in this decisive battle doctrine. While you and the rest of the Navy were granted some respite as the fleet was repaired and resupplied, it is now time to return to action stations and eliminate all that remains of the Soviet fleet. That Soviet fleet is really sizable. Now, normally I start my videos showing off exactly what I am facing, what I'm going to be building, stuff like that. This, however, is the continuation of a series, and that means it is once again the Miklos Horthy that is going to be at action stations. It's a ship that I have already constructed several times, so I only had to recreate it, but the previous iteration of this ship was an Alpha 11, and Alpha 12 does change some stuff, and for example, it makes it, it made the ship lighter somehow. I don't know exactly what changed that did that, but I had a couple of spare tons. So I have given the Miklos a couple of fast torpedo launchers, 24-inch. These are only last-ditch efforts in case I run into a battleship up close, or anything sizable like that. She has gotten a few armor buffs. She now has Barbette 4 armor instead of Barbette 2. She received a turbo-electric drive as an auxiliary engine. And well, let's see if all of this is enough to stop the entire Russian fleet. And this is the final lineup. My 1 battlecruiser, assisted by 10 heavy cruisers, taking on 2 Russian battleships, 2 Russian heavy cruisers, 2 lights, and 10 destroyers. Numerically, I have the advantage, but if these ships are packing 20-inch guns, or even 18s or 17s, I'm gonna have something to worry about, especially with my heavy cruisers. I was only able to recreate the Miklos Horthy, so I have no idea what heavy cruisers I will have. Let's see. These are the heavy cruisers. They are maximum bulkheads, that's really nice. 18,448 tons, but they're only packing 6-inch guns. That is fairly low. 4-inch guns, 2-inch guns, more 2-inch guns, and even, wow, quite a lot of torpedo launchers. That's 15 launchers per, out to a range of 22.3. That's a lot of firepower, considering that I have a lot of these ships. I have 10 of these heavy cruisers. The light cruisers, they are packing bigger guns than the heavy cruisers. They are not very survivable. They too come with torpedo launchers mounted there on the stern. These are even stealthier at a minus 68% visibility, 23 inch, range only 13 kilometers. And then I have a whole screen of destroyers. These also come with stealthy torpedoes at to a range of 21.8, 21 inch torps, minimum bulkheads too, 4 inch guns, just 2 turrets of those. Considering their loadout, I'd say they're most useful in a long-range torpedo role, because anything short-range will pretty quickly sink them. Pretty quickly. Now, let's see. I want the DDs in a normal formation, just steady course. The battleships have been detected over here. What has Russia sent us? Russia has sent us 12 14-inch guns, 1 666, 14 dual 6s. Good grief, do not approach that with a destroyer or a light cruiser. 24 4-inch guns and another 12 2-inch guns. These are packing a serious threat. Heavy cruisers, unknown as of right now. As for my heavy cruisers, I don't want them to torp just yet. I first want to sort out the formation. Let's have these guys join. We're going to follow, and we're going to just move. Actually, we're not going to follow. We're just going to move that way. Light cruisers. I want you to join this one. Standard formation. Ahead. And we got the other light cruisers. Normal formation. Standard ahead. And then I got 3 more cruisers. Actually, I should be diverting 1 or 2 of these to the other heavy cruiser group. And then seeing if I can get one of the heavy cruiser groups to push that way and the other one to push that way. They are reasonably fast, so I should be able to at least get a slightly better position on the enemy before we're moving in to torp them. You guys are currently set to follow. That is not what I want. Sorting out these formations is always a bit of a pain. It would be far easier if you could just preemptively set up your formations. Would be so much more comfortable. Now my 15-inch guns, my 8 15-inch guns, can range out to 33 kilometers, which means that the Russian battleships are currently outside of range, but they are turning in. So I have some options. I want the DDs to try and sort themselves out and move towards the battleships. We're going to torp from great range. Of course, we're going to have some collisions here and there because the AI is not stellar at sorting out their formations. Ah, the Horthy is opening up. She still has, in case you haven't remembered, she has 8 15-inch guns, a couple of 9s for support in dealing with cruisers, a whole bunch of 4s, 2s there, and the torpedo launchers. Torpedo launchers, as mentioned, last-ditch weapon. We have also spotted some of their destroyers. Very lightly armed when it comes to gunpowder, but torpedo launchers, quite a few. Remains to be seen how dangerous these things are. This is something that I will have the heavy cruisers intercept, because I don't want those anywhere near the Horthy. What are my light cruisers up to? Not a whole lot. Ah, we got a first hit. Jesus, that was a big hit. 464? Oh, you're about to cut a destroyer in half. I was wondering how I was able to inflict that much damage on a battleship, but yeah, this makes much more sense. Now, let's see. Who is part of your division? You're in a fairly okay position. You're moving up, and you are, I don't know, trying to get to where you need to be, eventually. Are those battleships in range yet? They are. Switch fire to the battleships. Much, much more threatening. They have, in fact, spotted my battlecruiser now. So I have to be fairly careful. We're not inside of range to torpedo them yet. But if I can torpedo this, I might be able to have those torps run long and, well, sort of accidentally catch the battleship. Light cruisers do not torp. Oh my god, look at this clusterfuck. This is still one of my biggest gripes with this game. It is so frustrating to have your ships just not know how to untangle themselves and how to actually form up in a formation. Because this cruiser here, the Budapest, is supposed to line up behind the Graz, and it's just not doing it. It's like the AI has given up and went, you know what? Nah. I don't know how to move the ship into position, so I'm not even going to try. And that really, really irks me. So devs, if you are watching this video, please sort out the formation system. It desperately needs it. Ah. We have hit the battleship for 74 damage. Now the objective here is to make short work of the Russian battleships, destroy both of them and the cruisers, and at least 75% of their destroyers. So I need to sink 7.5 destroyer. Let's round that up to 8 before I can call this one a victory. The Sebenico has taken a hit. There we go. Torpedoes away. This whole group is allowed to use torps in an aggressive manner. They only carry 2 salvos, but beyond their torpedoes they don't really have too much that they can work with. Well, they got their 6-inch guns, but let's be honest, that's not really going to scare anyone. Least of all the battleships. Okay, these are moving to the west. So, time for my destroyers to make a course correction. Hoping not to get torped by my own battleships here. Let's try and keep them in a spotting position. The Wells, Tiger, and Graz are moving. Mödling's going that way. Where's the frickin' Budapest? Here. Get over there. See, this formation has managed to untangle itself. That's nice. That's well done. Time to smoke up the DDs. They seem to be attracting some attention. Another hit on the Soviet battleship. Sorry, Russian battleship. I suppose they're not technically Soviet yet. My torps run for 21.8 kilometers. If these run long... well, they might hit. They might just hit. Just keep bombarding the enemy fleet. Unfortunately, those single launchers only carry 1 torp. The quintuple launcher, so the 5s, do carry another reload. No, actually they do not. It's one and done. Once you have launched the salvo of torpedoes, it's done. Okay. That's not great. Battleship hits a 14-inch gun, hits a DD. The Turul D3, which promptly sinks-ish. Damn. I'm surprised he went from 0.2 buoyancy back to 10 so fast. I thought stuff like that was reserved for the AI. One of their destroyers has detected my torpedoes, currently reacting to them. Look at that. Big smoke screens. These battleships displace 66,000 tons each. They're pretty slow, but that might be an advantage when it comes to dodging torpedoes. They have those 14-inch guns. That 66,000 tons is substantially more than my 47,000 tons. Ah, we have hit a destroyer. And judging by this wall of skill heading their way, I think we might actually hit quite a bit more. You have torped, you have torped, you have torped, and you have not torped. Yeah, we got another hit. That's another destroyer, the Pelican. Minimum bulkheads. I'm surprised it's not dead. Actually. Alright, let's see. You're empty, you're empty, you're empty, and you're not. So I can have everybody except the D2 move to disengage. Because as gunboats, they're very useless. So everybody just retreat. Let's see. Oh, they're reacting all right. They are reacting. The other heavy cruiser assortment on the other far flank has not yet torped because they have not been granted permission yet. Neither have the light cruisers because they're sort of stuck behind the heavies. Well, sort of. Magnet, I need you to slow down. Because the rest of your group is just not catching up. We have a torpedo hit on the Arcangel Uril. Several more on the way. The Victor just narrowly dodged. The other battleship seems to be unaffected. Sviatoy Alexander. It's probably not going to do that much. But it did take a nice chunk out of their health pool. The Horthy's a bit too far away at this point. So have you come back in? I want everybody to be ready to send out one large salvo again. Anything in range? Oh yes. Definitely. Now there's no real benefit to me actually keeping my destroyers alive. But the way that I see it, there's no real benefit to me taking them out or losing them either. So, since they have completed their attack, I'm just going to give them permission to fall back, just to withdraw. Victor and Grozny have detected new torps. Yeah, there we go. The Turul D2 still has one torpedo launcher ready. I suppose that's the one on the stern that couldn't get a lineup. There we go, it's empty now. You can join the rest of your DD friends and just fall back. There is one use for these things, and that's as a sonar screen. They do have sonar 1. I'm hoping that the cruisers have it too. The cruisers have sonar 3. That's even better. So the cruisers are definitely capable enough to shield me from incoming torpedoes. Alright, you guys are ready? Ready? No, sorry, not ready. Lucin, Debrecen, and Bregenz is ready. Alright, gentlemen, we're going to push in a little bit, and the other cruiser line might be able to throw down a cross torp. Although we are kind of heading away. Let's fix that. Light cruisers. Also just about ready. So far, they're very much staying at range. They still have plenty of ammunition. 768 shells there and 807 here. And it looks like they're focusing their attention on the heavy cruisers relatively east of them. Which is not a bad idea. Grozny detected torpedoes. You did. Oh, here. Nah, that's not really going to hit anybody. The Pelican also detected the torps. Unless it makes some sort of stupid maneuvering mistake, it's not going to run into one. Here, just turn to starboard. And you're fine. Okay. We have now been hit. The Wells has been hit, but it barely did any damage. Surprisingly. Okay, we're now very much inside of torpedo range. Turn to starboard and get all the launchers on all the ships ready. Let's have the Budapest rejoin the division that she initially couldn't figure out how to join. Let's say I want to have these guys attack different targets. I want the Archangel Uril targeted by the lead 2 ships. Graz, Mödling and Budapest can attack the second battleship. If you want to know how to do that, hold Control and Shift and right-click the target. And that way you have separate ships attacking separate targets. In a division, that is. Unfortunately, it looks like the Wells is actually maneuvering a bit too fast. And as with the light cruisers, the rest of the div is having trouble keeping up. We're now exchanging fire with one of the heavy cruisers, but we have a 6% chance to pen. So it's basically useless. Mödling, speed 30 knots. The rest of the ships are slowing down somewhat. Budapest falling into formation behind it. DD's withdrawing. You guys are also ready? Yeah, all heavy cruisers here are ready. Unfortunately, they're way too far away from the other fleet. Or from the majority of their fleet. Because it seems like the Russians are in full retreat. It's not really what I was hoping they would do. Because I was very much looking to set up a cross-torp. You know what, we're just going to torp. Aggressive launch. Wells launched, Tiger launched, Graz launched. Mödling and Budapest probably did not. Which is fine. I'll just set these guys up as a separate div. I need you to join the division of the Mödling. They're 19 clicks out. No surprise they're not going to be trying to maneuver much. Wait. Now we have a div of 5? No. Detach. Join the single cruiser here. And then the Wells. This division system. Fuck me. Join div 7. Join div 6. Alright, there we go. We're once again trying to slug the battleships, but they are almost at the edge of our operational range. So the chances of me getting a couple of hits in are not great. Also, it's very likely that my torpedoes will get detected by a heavy cruiser. Look at this though. Holy shit. They will get detected by a heavy cruiser and promptly evaded by all the ships. But there is such a nice wall here that it is not going to be easy for them to pull that off. In the meanwhile, let's try and hit the Pelican here. We have plenty of shells to waste. Are these things survivable? Not very. Good. Neptune has detected the torpedoes. And all the ships promptly turn to port. Is that going to be sufficient? For the heavy cruisers, probably. Pelican already turned, or sorry, already flooded. The Archangel Uril is going to have to carefully maneuver if she wants to evade. Oh, that was a beautiful hit. Ammo detonation on the Neptune, causing instant death. And it looks like the Archangel Uril is going to survive, but the destroyer might not. 2 hits there. 1 on the destroyer. The Dobrovolets narrowly managed to escape the other 2 hits. I'd say that was a good torpedo salvo. And I still find it a bit weird that it is my heavy cruisers which are taking on the role of a torpedo boat, which is normally something you would trust a light cruiser or a destroyer with. But hey, they're AI generated, they don't have to make too much sense. My light cruisers still moving in the general direction of the enemy fleet. And there's now 4 of them, so that's fine. We can speed back up. Oh, fuck. I completely forgot about another light cruiser group. There's another 5 light cruisers here, and they are 30 kilometers away from the nearest friendly. So they're not going to be terribly useful for now. Heavy cruiser status. I need you guys to turn this way. We are in range of the torpedoes. Same plan. Sabenico, Amstetten there. The rest of you, torpedo the Arcangel. I just need to make sure they all have the angle. So the Debrecen and the Bregenz still need to turn. Otherwise it's going to be a bit of a waste. And the torpedo shield, or the torpedo screen, will not be as large. Not as large as it can be. Sabinico, slow down just a touch. The Dobrovolets seems to have some engineering issues here. Gets fixed, gets damaged. Gets fixed, gets damaged. It's like they're constantly trying to pump one of their engineering compartments dry, but not quite succeeding in it. Ah, shit. The battleships are starting to move out of range. Alright. Torpedo then. One. Wait. Wait. Why are you not launching? Are you really that far away? Shit. I thought they were all in a pretty good position to launch, especially since we're seemingly getting slightly closer, so they're not turned away. Ah. You're low on ammo, and so are you. That allows for the Miklos Horthy to get in quite a bit closer, bolstering my accuracy. Our Congaluriel is down to 44%. How's the other heavy cruiser section? What the hell? Guess who it is? Guess who it is? Join. Join. Range? 20 kilometers. Turn to port. 15-inch hits. Several on the battleship. Structural integrity down to 42%. Heavy cruisers are about 17 clicks out. Ideally, I would torpedo the Sviatoy because she is far too healthy for my liking. Light cruisers here are still trying to get closer. They can do 30 knots. They're effectively doing 27. Sviatoy has detected torpedoes. Oh dear. You might have spotted them. But you don't dodge them very well, do you? That was a nice 24% chunk out of its structural integrity. The ship is flooding, but I'm not really expecting that to hold. It does, however, mean that the battleships are being pushed out of position. They're turning more than I would like. Arkangel's on a 36. You're still trying to slug it out with the DD. Excellent. We have plenty of shells here, so I can keep this up for all day. Ah, both the Sviatoy and... Oh, actually no, the Arcangel Uriel is not maneuvering away. All ships, all ships. Torpedo when ready. Gentlemen. Gentlemen. Your starboard torpedo launchers are loaded and ready. The ship is not maneuvering so fast away from your objective, or from your torpedo range, that it is impossible to launch. What's going on? Okay, that was the Dobrovolets. She just needed a bit more attention. And now the Tiger is going to come in from the other side with the rest of her fleet. We're going to try and torpedo this group from two sides at once. Which means I'll have to be careful not to run into my own torpedoes. Not that that's ever happened this week, but it tends to happen on occasion. That was not one of my torps. That was a DD that hit the magnet. And very nearly hit one of my light cruisers. Miklos, you can get a bit closer here, sir. Save your ammo. Don't waste it on trying to get hits. Why is the frickin' Budapest so slow? She's doing 29 knots. She's trying to keep up with the rest of the fleet, but she's just not very successful at it. Okay, torps here. The Sviat toy is going to be my main target. Or at least, she's the trickier one. Got the... Oh. Oh, Jesus, what hell? This thing was not supposed to eat 5 torpedoes and absorb the wall so that the Arkangoluril could survive. This thing got hit so bad that it did 17,000 damage. The Arkangoluril just got a warning from that, but it might not be able to turn well enough. And if it is not, then it's going to eat 2, 3, maybe 4 torps. 2 of them. 3. Buoyancy, dropping quickly. Statni sinks to extensive fire. That's over there. And you're under fire from the light cruisers. The light cruisers that I don't have too many left from. So it's going to be a bit unlikely for these things to survive. Let's assume that these guys have been torped. You have torpedoed, you have torpedoed, you have, and you have. Just now. But you still have a section left. 1 salvo is still ready. Come on, wipe out this light cruiser with the 5 of you. Yeah, our Arkangoluril is down to 8% and 24% buoyancy. And she's about to get hit again. Bang. Our Arkangoluril is down. That's 50% of the battleships eliminated. Switch fire to the Sviatoy. Kufstein is flooding. I'm kind of sacrificing the light cruisers here. Oh, the Admiral Bukatov took another torpedo. This is the torpedo launch from the other side. Which unfortunately was also, I think, mostly aimed at the Arkangoluril. So it means that the battleship here is in the clear. And the only heavy cruiser with torpedoes is the Bregenz, which is really not that likely to be able to launch anytime soon. These things have a reload time of 1125 seconds. There's 900 seconds in 15 minutes, so let's say about 18 minutes before I can fire. Their DDs and light cruisers are all rapidly disintegrating. The Victor, however, is something I might not be able to eliminate quickly. She's 23 kilometers away from the Miklos, so I don't have to rely upon her to try and get a hit anytime soon. The heavy cruiser working on the Grozny. Pogranichik sinks. No, that's not what that says. These battleships and heavy cruisers and light cruisers, the whole Russian fleet is just disappearing. But actually far faster than I'd expected. So far they have done 16,000 damage only. And I've done 69,000 damage, which I suppose yields an obligatory nice. Grozny is down. So they got the Victor, the Zabijaka, Kapitan Saken. Let's go back in. Uh-oh. Here comes the cross torp. Was that one of my own? Yeah. That was the Graz hitting the Bregenz. I was kind of worried about this. I think the Bregenz might No, I'm gonna have to intervene here. Yeah, too late. She has a broken rudder. She's gonna eat another one. Shit. Anyway, if I can eliminate the rest of the ships, I can have the Miklos Horthy push in very quickly and aggressively engage the battleship in close-range warfare. Ooh. You also got torped, didn't you? Yeah, twice. Okay, let's see if I can save the Sebenico. Detach and retreat. Amstetten is now leader of the division here. And promptly gets hit by a friendly torpedo. Cross torps. They work fantastically well against your own ships. Against the enemy ships, debatable. The Amstetten can now also join the retreating forces. My chance to pen with a 6-inch is not great against the Victor. Although it is going up now. 53%. There's a torpedo. That probably launched against the Lucin. Uh-oh. Unless it didn't. Zabianka sunk. Heavy flooding. The Victor has maximum bulkhead, so flooding her out's not that likely. Oh, you're gonna be in trouble. The Brechen's turning circle is pretty shit. Hold on, so that DD is still alive. But not by much. And the Horthy is making sure that that's not gonna happen. Oh, hold on. There's the Capitan Saken down. I want to squeeze in between those torps. I think I'm going to eat one. Hard port rudder. We should be able to squeeze through. She's a big girl, but she can squeeze through. There we go. Well done. Well done. That leaves just one battleship alive. The rest of the Russian fleet is completely eliminated. Now, sure enough, it did come at the expense of some ships. But the result is still impressive. I get a detach. Hello, Mödling. De-fucking touch from the division. Thank you. Increase speed to flank. Budapest is reloading her torps. Detach. Full ahead flank. That battleship is not likely to do any great speeds anymore. So I think I can make short work of it by rushing in with torpedoes. The Miklos didn't really do that much this battle. She did 1.3 thousand damage. She was shot at but never hit. And that is exactly how you should be treating battlecruisers. Because let's say they don't like getting hit very much. They have a tendency to respond somewhat violently to getting hit. No, I still had a whole group of... This whole group of light cruisers is just getting bored out of their minds. Probably wondering why they're not allowed to join the battle. 8 kilometers out. Uh-oh. That guy has torpedoes. Single tube. But a whole bunch of them broadside. They're almost out of ammo, but they're not to be discounted yet. We have a torpedo launch. Oh shit, you launched? You weren't quite supposed to do that. Do you know about those? Yes. She detected the torpedoes, but considering she has a broken rudder, I don't know if she's capable of doing much about them. In the meanwhile, the Miklos is coming in for the kill, but she might be too late. I think we're gonna see one impact only. Oh, 2. The bow just got clipped. That immediately cripples her and structural integrity drops 24%. The pen chance is going up dramatic. Well, actually not going up dramatically. Or at least not as much as I had hoped. But her structural integrity is falling. She's down to 18%. Ship is charging in. Powering through a turn. We'll just cut that out. Hard port course correction. I was going to say hard port turn, and that kind of blended. And are the torpedoes even going to be required? Did she get hit again? Starboard side torpedoes going out. These are fast 24-inch torpedoes doing a maximum of 1700 damage. Against an already very much wounded battleship. She's probably toast. Boom. And that means that the Miklos Horthy and the rest of the Austria-Hungarian Navy has won the battle. We are victorious, and this means the Russian fleet is no more. How that is going to translate into whatever happens next is entirely up to Darth Vendar. I really enjoyed the scenarios. There was a good story behind them, and I hope that he can do a sort of outro in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the battle, and I'll see you soon for another video.